One of the government's biggest secrets is hiding in plain sight in Las Vegas. Janet is the top secret government airline that doesn't exist. Let's find out why. All right, here's what you do. Next time you're in Vegas, visit one of the big casinos next to McCarran Airport. I'm talking about Luxor, Excalibur, Mandalay Bay. You're going there anyway. So when you get there, look east at the airport.
Okay.
All day long, but especially early in the morning and late in the evening, you'll see mysterious planes taking off and landing. And you can't miss them. They're big. They're Boeing 737s. And they have no markings, no logos. They're plain white with a single red stripe. This is Janet Airlines.
Where are we going with this?
Well, Janet is a top secret Air Force-owned commuter airline for civilians. And Janet's mission is to fly employees, contractors, and government VIPs into and out of America's top secret installations.
Okay, I'm interested.
But the destination Janet goes to the most, I'm talking a few times a day, is...
Please say it, please say it.
Area 51.
Yes, grab your tinfoil hat.
An airline call sign is how planes are identified on the radio. And call signs are often simple, like American 441 or Delta 54, and sometimes call signs have a little more pizzazz, like British Airways uses Speedbird, and China Airlines uses the call sign Dynasty. Then there's the call sign Janet. Just
Janet!
Dr. Scott!
Janet!
For years, Janet has been a mystery. It's an airline that really isn't an airline. The fleet uses no logos or special markings of any kind. But for years, Janet has been operating in plain sight, taking hundreds of people into and out of McCarran Airport in Las Vegas every day. Now, the only way to fly Janet is if you're a government contractor or employee with very, very high security clearance. Don't just show up at the terminal.
How you doing?
Come here.
Okay.
Step up here for me.
Stop right there. Who could you point me to at the base who could give me some information?
Okay, what I want to tell you right now, you're trespassing on private property.
Is it government property or is it just private?
No comment. You're trespassing.
Okay. Who are you trying to hit, bud? I just trying to me and quit it.
Janet isn't even the airline's real name. It officially doesn't have one, though people have said it stands for Joint Air Network for Employee Transportation or just another non-existent terminal.
Ooh, creepy.
Now, if you didn't know any better, day-to-day activity at the Janet terminal looks completely normal. Overnight, there are only 20 or 30 cars in the parking lot, but during the day, there are hundreds of cars parked there. People show up in civilian clothing, they get on the planes, they go to work. Most of the passengers fit on 4 737s. They're gone all day, they come back in the evening, get in their cars, and they go home. Just no big whoop. But where do these people actually go every day? Well, the government won't tell us. In fact, the government hasn't acknowledged that Janet even exists.
Naturally.
So let's do some digging. Janet planes have airline codes and flight numbers just like regular commercial planes. And just like typical planes, Janet's planes are equipped with transponders that allow them to be tracked. Using a few websites, linked below, you can track almost every flight in the world. But something strange happens when you track a Janet flight. As soon as it gets about 20 minutes north of Las Vegas, the plane vanishes.
Whoa.
You know what's up there?
Area 51.
The government officially calls it Homey Airport or Groom Lake, but yeah, that's Area 51. Well, how do we know? Well, first of all, unless it's an emergency, planes are required to keep their transponders on. But when a Janet airline enters Area 51 airspace, it turns off its transponder every time. And second of all, the airspace around Area 51 is highly restricted. I mean, if you try to fly in without permission, best case scenario is you'll be escorted out by fighter jets. Worst case scenario, you'll be turned into scrap metal by fighter jets. Either way, there's fighter jets. Janet also flies to Air Force Plant 42, the Tonopah Military Test Range, and the China Lake Weapons Testing Facility. Now, these are the most restricted airspaces in the world, but somehow, every day, Janet Airlines fly in and out of them without a problem. Okay, so here's the current Janet fleet.
Hey, should we be showing this?
What, this is public information?
Yeah, that wasn't my question.
What was that? You hear that? So using the fleet information, you can go to the FAA website and see who owns the plane. So let's do that.
Bingo.
Right. Okay, so this definitely is a US government plane that is owned by the US Air Force. Considering the patterns of the flights, it's safe to conclude that the planes are definitely taking government employees to the facilities where they work. But the destinations are also classified. Frequently, a Janet flight will tell the tower it's going to one place, but actually goes somewhere completely different.
The government lies. Well, you can knock me over with a feather.
But Janet is not technically operated by the government. It operates like a civilian airline. Okay, so if the Air Force owns the airline but doesn't operate it, who does? So who actually operates Janet Airlines? Well, a little cyber sleuthing gives us more clues. Area 51 was originally established by the CIA as a secure airport for testing advanced aircraft.
And testing other things.
In the early 70s, authority of the base transferred from the CIA to the Air Force. Now, at that time, employees were either bussed in or they took shuttle flights from Lockheed Martin in Burbank, California.
Lockheed Martin again.
Yep. And for you guys that are new to this channel, it seems like we can't get through a single conspiracy video without Lockheed Martin coming up.
This is not an accident.
Doesn't seem to be. A few years later, Janet operation was transferred to defense contractor eg&g. And eg&g was one of the companies who helped develop the atomic bomb. So
So they were involved in shady stuff.
they were. eg&g bought a few used planes from China, transitioned the fleet to Boeing 737s, and moved the op to Gold Coast Terminal in Las Vegas. Now, if you Google the location of the Janet Airlines terminal, you get something called the AECOM hangar, which Google describes as a non-governmental organization.
Suspicious.
I thought so too. So let's backtrack. AECOM hangar used to be called the Gold Coast Terminal. The original operator of the Gold Coast was defense contractor eg&g. How do we know it was eg&g? Well, they posted a job listing saying so, and I'll link it below. Now, eg&g was acquired by the Carlyle Group in 1999, which was acquired by the URS Corporation in 2002, which was acquired by AECOM in 2014, so AECOM hangar.
That's a huckleberry.
Yep. So what does AECOM do? Well, the company describes itself very vaguely as a global network of design, engineering, construction, and management professionals partnering with clients to imagine and deliver a better world.
Word salad.
With revenues of $18 billion.
Word salad with government contracts.
Yep, and there's more. AECOM recently posted a job opening for a first officer / co-pilot in Las Vegas, Nevada. The preferred qualifications include Boeing 737 experience, okay, and high performance and or jet aircraft experience. Okay, the job listing doesn't make any reference to Janet, but candidates must qualify for and maintain a top secret government security clearance.
Yep, that's Janet.
Definitely Janet.
This week we've heard the contention of UFO researchers that there's a secret government within our government. While that may be hard to believe coming from the UFO perspective, we've certainly learned in Watergate and the Iran-Contra scandal that factions within our government can and do pursue their own hidden agendas outside of the law, outside the control of Congress, or the knowledge of the American people.
Area 51 is inside the Nevada Test and Training Range, which is made up of smaller, distinct areas with different purposes. And many sections are designated Area X. So, yes, there is an Area 49, an Area 50, an Area 52, and so on. Now, surrounding Area 51 is Nellis Air Force Range, which covers a huge amount of southern Nevada. Now, at various points in time, Area 51 has been called the Watertown Strip, Dreamland, Paradise Ranch, Homey Airport, the area, the remote location, or out of town.
Isn't that cute?
Or sometimes it's simply referred to as nowhere.
Nowhere? It's a place. We've been there. It sucks.
Area 51 has been home to some of America's most highly secret aviation programs.
Among other things.
This is where the U-2 spy plane and Lockheed A-12 were secretly tested, where the F-117 Nighthawk stealth attack aircraft was developed before being deployed to the Gulf. And now, who really knows what's hiding in the hangars?
They're unidentified.
But we do know that on average, about 1,000 people a day take Janet planes from Vegas to Area 51 and back. Could they be working on the Lockheed SR-72, a spy plane capable of Mach 6 or 4,600 miles an hour? Or are they working on the B-21 Raider, a new generation of stealth bomber that can deliver a nuclear weapon anywhere in the world? Or
He says he was hired to work at an area called S4, which is a few miles south of Groom Lake. At S4, he says, are flying saucers, antimatter reactors, and other working examples of technology that is seemingly beyond human capabilities.
Right, this came from somewhere else. I mean, as bizarre as that is to believe, but I mean, it's there. I saw it. I know what the current state of the art is in physics, and it can't be done.
Could these people be commuting from Las Vegas on a secret airline to work on extraterrestrial spacecraft?
I think so.
It's possible. Nobody really knows. But every year we seem to get closer to some kind of reveal. For years, the government denied Area 51 even existed, but finally admitted it in 2013. And after years of denial, the CIA just released a bunch of UFO documents acknowledging they exist. And a full document dump is happening later this year. Air Force and Navy pilots are coming forward with stories and footage. Major news organizations are covering UFOs as legitimate stories.
Every day for at least a couple of years.
Wait a minute, every day for a couple of years?
Mm-hmm. UFOs aren't fringe anymore. People, regular, normal people, want to know what's going on. The US government won't acknowledge that Janet Airlines exists, but that's okay. We know that it does. Considering the ubiquity of information today and the speed at which it travels, it's becoming more and more difficult for governments to keep secrets from its citizens. And overall, that's a good thing. Thanks for hanging out with us today. My name is AJ, that's Hecklefish. This has been the Y-Files. If you had fun or learned anything today, do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment, and share. The algorithm is like a top secret Area 51 project, but with your help, we can learn the truth. Until next time, be safe, be kind, and know that you are appreciated.